Oh, let me tell you something. Busting makes me feel good.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Blockbusting, the podcast where we love to hate the movies. I'm your host, Jay Light. Joining me today, Al Bahmani.
Hey, Jay.
Hey, what's up, buddy? How are you?
Just a bit tired.
Kick back, relax. We're on a couch now. You're here.
Yes.
You can chill.
Sorry, I've just parked, came here early, knocked on the previous episode by accident.
It's all good. I think you won't even notice it in the edit.
Okay.
It's all gravy, dude.
Very cool.
I mean, you picked that's the real downside to being here on a Sunday is that you know how hectic it is over here on Sundays. So you parked early, and you were trying. I appreciate you trying to be a good, on-time, punctual podcast guest.
I'm trying.
As somebody who's involved in several podcasts himself, you, I would imagine, know what not to do, what you wouldn't want to see.
Which is
being late, showing up.
Yeah, showing up unprepared, not doing anything, and like, I don't know what I was supposed to do. What was this thing about? What podcast am I on? This is about movies, right?
This is the one.
Okay.
This is not just about any movie, though. As always, this is about a movie that you don't like. And you came to me.
Yes, I did.
Approached me about doing the show with a movie that I had never seen, and
I'm shocked.
Well, I mean, keep in mind, I grew up. I'm a '90s kid, and also a sheltered '90s kid. So, an R-rated movie about dancing, not exactly in my wheelhouse.
Oh,
but that movie that you came to me today with,
Flashdance by Adrian Lynn, written by Tom Headley,
and Joe Esterhazy.
Who also wrote Showgirls
and Basic Instinct.
Fatal Attraction.
Yeah.
And,
I knew he was a big-time screenwriter, but here's the craziest thing for me. He sold, he got $3 million for Basic Instinct. He sold the script for Showgirls for $2 million. And then I was reading, there's a movie that came out after Showgirls called Jade.
Produced by Robert Evans.
Yes, and directed by William Friedkin.
Yep.
Joe Esterhazy was paid $1.5 million for a 2-page outline for that script.
He's very persuasive.
He is.
He's also a virulent anti-smoker dude.
Right.
Yeah. So
born-again Christian.
Yeah. Had a dad who was involved with the Nazis. His book, The Devil's Guide to Hollywood, it's like a Hunter Thompson book is what it is.
I gotta read it.
Yeah,
it sounds fascinating.
Oh, it is. It's gonzo as fuck.
Is this where they have the famous anecdote about Flashdance? Is that out of that book?
I don't think it's in that book.
So the one I'm talking about specifically. By the way, let's get into Flashdance with. This is the perfect anecdote to talk about Flashdance with. So this was a Paramount production.
Yes, it was
when Michael Eisner was still in charge, and this is.
Jerry Bruckheimer's helping out. Don Simpson.
And hold on, I got to get to the production, the casting. Here we go. So it stars Jennifer Beals and Michael Nouri.
Yeah.
And the 3 candidates were the finalists for the role of Alex Owens. By the way, so this movie is about a young nightclub dancer who aspires to become a professional ballerina alongside her elder suitor and the owner of the steel mill where she works by day in Pittsburgh as a welder.
Yes.
And, those classic 18-year-old welders who don't wear any sort of protection for their long, permed hair.
OSHA violation. She's like the only 18-year-old one in a room, an entire plant full of 40, 50-year-old union workers also. Yeah.
Yeah. But we'll get into all the problems with this movie.
There's a lot
in a minute. But this is Joe Esterhazy's recounting of how the role was cast. Two different stories exist regarding how Jennifer Beals was chosen. Originally, it was between her, Demi Moore, and Leslie Wing.
Ooh.
Leslie Wing, if you're not familiar, is an American actress who she didn't really have much of a career. She plays the role of Zac Efron's character in the High School Musical trilogy. She's been in a handful of other movies, including The Dungeon Master, Calendar Girl.
Ooh, Calendar Girl. I remember that one.
And she was on Xena Warrior Princess for one episode as Queen Karis.
Ooh.
Oh, sorry, 2 episodes. Excuse me. Now, there are 2 different stories, like I said.
Okay.
The first one says that Paramount president Michael Eisner asked women secretaries at the studio to select their favorite after viewing screen tests. That's the official version.
Okay.
This is the Joe Esterhaas version.
Oh, this would be beautiful.
Eisner asked 200 of the most macho men on the Paramount lot, teamsters and gaffers and grips, and he asked them, I want to know which of these 3 young women you most want to fuck.
Sounds about true.
It sounds the most true.
It's Esterhaas.
That's Esterhaas' story, and I can see why that's the one that they went with. For like, we're going to get a hot girl in a steel mill. So we're surrounding her in the movie by all of the proxy version of every blue collar
dude.
gaffer and grip
Yep.
on a film set.
Yep.
And that's what this movie is. It's just us ogling this woman. This not even a woman. She's a girl.
She's
an 18-year-old girl.
Yeah, which is actually Jennifer Beals' age when shooting the film too.
Right, and Michael Noru's in his 30s.
Like as a kid, because this movie you couldn't escape Flashdance in the 80s. I'm an 80s kid.
Yeah,
and like the entire movie, it's a musical fairy tale, is what it is. It's a fairy tale.
Right.
It's a musical fairy tale. It's Girl Rocky. It is Girl Rocky.
It is Girl Rocky.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're right. Fuck.
Yeah, she's blue collar. She's being beaten down. She has a
It's in a different city in Pennsylvania, but it's the biggest change.
She has a Polly.
Yep.
She has a gym. She has a title fight.
Uh-huh.
But it's Girl Rocky, and then there's at the same time, it's also like once you as a kid, it's everywhere because it's just it's a medley of music videos, one after another. It was made to sell soundtracks, which it did.
Just like how Rocky is just a bunch of different sequences of him. Like the only meat that Jennifer Beals is punching in a warehouse is Michael Norrie's meat.
Yes. Well, the lobster scene.
Yes. Oh my God. The fucking lobster scene where she literally, it's just for no reason, taking off a jacket, revealing that she's wearing one of those like
when
weird
his wife
Dickies,
shows up.
Ex-wife.
So.
She shows up and she's like topless under this Dickie and is like, I fucked his brains out. I'll probably fuck his brains out again. I was like, this movie took such a turn. This movie is totally all over the place.
Yeah.
We haven't even asked why this movie, why Flashdance? Why is this your pick for what you want to talk about on here?
It's such a cultural phenomenon that it's like in the 80s, it was everywhere. If you were raised by women in the 80s, and I know I was, and MTV was in its infancy, this music video was playing over and over again. It was also one of the first movies that was always played on VHSs.
Really?
Yeah, it was played on VHS, played on HBO. So it surrounded you. Plus, there were so many parodies of that opening scene where she gets splashed. There's so many different parodies that have been going on, that are still going on to this day. Deadpool did a Flashdance. There's even a gorilla meme thing that's going on.
Right.
And it made me believe that inside the heart of every welder was a frustrated dancer.
Yeah. I mean, that's what this movie purports itself to be about.
And I have met 5 welders that are frustrated dancers.
You have?
Yeah.
For real?
For real. It's like the mirror image of a mirror image that has created a new reality altogether. It's just bizarro because like the place where she does her dancing, look, it's very avant-garde and reality has crept into this life, and because of reality and being an adult, and One of my ex-roommates was a DJ at a strip club.
Okay.
So I know that there's no such thing as production values and stage values and lighting and set pieces, you know.
This is the thing is it's not even like it's not really a strip club. It's like I can't tell exactly what it's a cabaret, I guess.
It's like a blue collar Moe's bar.
Right.
It's like Moe's bar that serves burgers, and then it's got this cabaret artsy fartsy thing with stage lights, a spotlight.
Really artsy cabaret. Like they have these sequences. You can't imagine, I wouldn't imagine in the 80s a strip club that would allow a short-haired woman to dance.
Yeah. Or what sort of dudes that come, like sort of steelworkers go, hey man, let's go and see some girls do some
let's go watch
Fosse shit.
Let's go watch a lady pretend to get sucked into a TV and do a commentary on how the media affects us.
Marshall McLuhan, everyone. Let's get this thought.
Yeah.
Yes, let's see some German expressionist shit. You know?
I've always wanted to see what a sexy version of Annie Hall might be like.
Yeah, come on, Robert Wool.
5 minutes.
Robert Wool's in it. And then you got the stand-up comic kid, too, that's working there doing stand-up comedy.
Very bad stand-up comedy.
Nothing but Polak jokes.
That's it. How? Here's my biggest problem with this movie. And I will say this as somebody who watched the movie and I was like, I was kind of swept away by it a little bit.
Yeah, you get swept away. The image is so powerful that first run, when you see it, you feel, like she's in her headphones. You're in her headphones with her. She's doing the female Rocky thing, doing the maniac dance. She's dancing. She's talking to a female Polly. She's confessing to the priest. She's working her way up still. And she has an apartment which is about an entire warehouse.
Right. It's a converted warehouse. That she has she has no family. She's living here by herself, even on a good union job salary. Which how would she
the
be
not
in the union
stripping
if she
job
was
too? Also,
18, right?
And the not stripping job, which I don't know how much that pays. And she's talking about saving money so then she can actually be a full-time ballerina dancer, and she's all self-taught.
Yep.
Unless you count the old lady Hannah, the old lady who's like...
Hannah probably taught her a couple things here and
I think
there.
Hannah taught her a lot of things.
But we don't see any of that.
No, we don't.
We just see her being a maniac on the floor.
Yeah.
Because she's a steel town girl with nowhere to go.
On a Saturday night.
On a Saturday night, yeah. But that's the thing about this movie is I watched it. It's not clearly in when you look at the description and face of the movie, I watched it and I'm like, this is not going to be my cup of tea at all. And then I watched it and I was like, oh no, I know exactly what they're doing here.
Yeah.
Because that's all it is. It's just a feature-length music video.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Mm-hmm. And there's something about the boldness of doing that that I can appreciate when a movie is able to pull off having no story that makes sense.
Yeah.
And still making me be at moments.
Yeah, it does that. Around the end when she's talking when she's about to give up into going to audition for the ballet,
right?
Which the dude pulled strings to get her the audition,
right?
Because she wouldn't get the audition on her own.
No,
if the dude from the plant didn't even,
they're scolding her for her wearing boots in the audition scene.
Yeah, it's the 80s were a very classist time apparently.
Yeah,
she's new guard. We're old school ballet.
Right, slobs versus snobs. You saw the disdain that the girl initially when she was like, "Where's the admissions office?" It's at the end of the hall. Mm-hmm. You fucking peasant. Subtext is everything in this movie.
Yeah,
but you're right. Right before that, she has the scene where she goes and confesses again, and she's weeping.
Yeah,
and she says, "I just want so much," and I'm like, "I get you, Jennifer Beals. I also want so much."
Yeah, we all want that. It's
and then it just cuts to her audition.
Yeah,
because you don't need to you don't need to see a sequence of the priest calming her down. Yeah. You don't need any of that. This movie is all existed. I mean, it's the fucking name of the song, Flashdance. What a feeling!
Yes,
that's the entirety of this movie.
That's the entire movie.
You're just feeling stuff. Mm-hmm. You're just feeling Jennifer Beals.
Oh yeah, you feel for Jennifer Beals. You want her to get the back. And I've learned about real dancers is dancers don't like watching other dancers. They're like comics.
Yeah, I buy it.
You know, they don't want to like watching other dancers. They're not as supportive it does pass the Bechdel test, you know.
Yeah, it totally does.
It does pass and this is like 1982, 83 when it came out, which is it's a weird I couldn't get my hands like because then you had the Mobby's place where it was the Moe's, you know, family-friendly titty bar is what it was. You know, it's like an artsy Moe. Like, I don't understand.
It's like Jumbo's Clown Room that you can take the whole family to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what? Huh? I couldn't understand that place existing because as also a sound and lighting guy, it's like, okay, so they got to do this lighting cue, that lighting cue, set up the music. Now you got to sweep and clean up all the water that she splashed everywhere.
Right.
I mean, I'm just imagine the shit comics have to get for the Sledge-O-Matic with fucking Gallagher.
Right.
You know, like
also, how much stage prep do you have to do in advance to rig something that's going to like rain water down on you beforehand, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't.
And then the backdrop, and then get the television, the fake television, then getting the lights, the strobe, due to the strobe effect. It's like, and they're doing this by hand on circuits on a sound and lighting board. This is just.
Also, keep in mind, it keeps cutting back, especially during that strobe TV sequence. It keeps cutting back to, I would assume, Mr. Mobby, the owner of the bar and grill, who's just dumbfounded by what's going on. Like, clearly nobody's running any of this by him beforehand. And he's just like, I like the tits.
And dudes are playing pool in the background.
Right.
Dudes are playing pool, drinking beers, and like look, I could see this in like 2019 hipster Pittsburgh happening.
Right.
But 1982, 83, no.
How in the world have they not remade Flashdance?
It's a musical now.
But it flopped.
Yeah.
They never had a Broadway run. This movie is screaming to be remade. Get fucking Zendaya and some other I don't know, Justin. No, you got to get an old person. You got to get like Michael Bolton or somebody.
Yeah.
But you get like two aging musicians and a young gal. Mm-hmm. Somebody who you get the modern. Who's the modern day version of Joe Esterhaas? Who's the one who's going to run around to the movie? To every exec at the movie studio and still be like, hey, I promise I won't cancel you for this, but which one of these girls do you want to fuck?
Oh, definitely Joe Esterhaus. I think Esterhaus would probably...
But is there a modern version of him? I'm trying to think.
You also got Tom Hedley, too, who also wrote Brazil and quite a few other great movies, too.
Right.
So you had that... I feel like it was lightning in a bottle because it's literally you had the right director. You also had the right... Oh, I also... one of the podcasts I help out with, John Shefsky's Fantasy House.
Yep.
It records at Thailand Studios, which is the place where the movie Flashdance was edited.
What? And by the way, Flashdance
by
reasonably
Bud Smith
nominated for best film editing and best cinematography. Like
Bud got the BAFTA award hangs up every week when I go see Shefsky.
Yeah.
I see the BAFTA and I also see that Oscar nomination on the wall along with the movie poster.
And Giorgio Moroder he did the score. He got nominated for Maniac got nominated for Best Original Song, and then Giorgio Moroder won Best Original Song for Flashdance. What a Feeling. That's the thing. It's like I for all of the flaws that this movie has, and this movie is chock full of flaws.
So many flaws.
The dialogue is garbage. All of the characters are
paper thin and dumb.
Evil. Jennifer Beals is the closest we get to a three-dimensional character, and she does a good job.
Yeah,
but even like there's decisions that she makes that like I don't fucking buy. Even like, okay, here's a simple one. Jennifer Beals at first is approached by she's dancing, right?
Yes,
that's the
is.
opening scene,
Mm-hmm.
and then her boss watches her dance.
Yes.
And then
he doesn't know she works for him,
right? Which all of a sudden, how does his friend know that?
Because he works with her. Apparently, he's all up. He's a self-made businessman, which means mob connections. I don't know.
Right.
You know, it's not really like he starts off. He's a blue collar dude that worked his way up and owns a steel mill now.
Right.
And he doesn't know that there's an 18-year-old girl that went to some sort of trade school in Pittsburgh.
Right.
You know,
I don't fucking get it.
She's like started at 14 or something welding.
But then he's doing all the creepy shit to her the next several days.
Throughout the entire movie, she's doing creepy shit. He's following her, stalking her throughout the entire thing.
But that's the thing. There's these moments where like she initially is doing the thing that makes the most sense for the character to do, which is to be fucking creeped out. Mm-hmm. But then all of a sudden she's in the parking lot where the other scumbag dude.
Yes, the guys that run the real adult,
the real
nudie
strip club, full nude, which I can appreciate on a level of being like full nude, 6 girls. Hey, we're trying to run a class act here, Cletus. Get your shit together.
Yep.
Put on a nice jacket.
Yep.
Got full nude. Check out their pussies, and that's the thing. It's like so they have this confrontation where he's like trying to assault her in the parking lot, Saturday Night Fever style.
Oh yeah,
and Richie, the worthless stand-up comic, who is also one of the worst characters to ever exist in cinema. Which, by the way, I guess that's by design.
Yeah,
I guess you're supposed to hate the guy. I think
you're kind of supposed to root for him because he's dating the ice skating chick who then works at the real titty bar too,
right.
Which is
it doesn't. But that's the thing. It's like there's stuff that doesn't. There's stuff that's discordant. Like there's So in that sequence in the parking lot, Richie gets punched in the face.
Yeah.
But Michael Norrie's character, the head of the steel mill,
he doesn't even have to raise a finger.
Not even doesn't have to raise a finger, has just been chilling there the whole time. So presumably, the thing that I'm thinking is he must have had the exact same thought that the skeevy dude from the titty bar did.
Of course he did.
But he's just wearing a sweater. That's the only difference. Is like he could probably get away with it because he's wearing a sweater.
And he owns a steel mill.
And then he follows her home.
While she's bicycling everywhere.
Right.
She doesn't use a car. She just rides a bike everywhere.
Doesn't make any sense.
No, it makes no sense. And
then she does the young girl, like, I'm gonna fuck his brains out thing, and I'm gonna be. It's a movie that you can tell it's written by dudes who like have no idea what it probably actually is like to talk to an 18-year-old or 19-year-old woman. Yep. Because they're just like. The old guy couldn't fuck her at first, but we're gonna figure out a way to make this happen.
Yeah,
it's not only unbelievable, but it's like grossly dialogue free, unbelievable. Like he's sort of a white knight, but he doesn't do anything to actually save her, and then he just is more of a creep on top of it.
Yeah. But at the end, he redeems himself by getting her the audition.
But even she hates that.
Of course she hates that.
Because of course she should, because she wants it on her own merit. It makes sense.
But she told her friend that she's going to do it, but then she was about to tell her she's dead. So now she's got to do the thing.
Yeah.
She's forced to do it because I think she would have, if her friend Hannah was alive, she probably wouldn't even do it.
Right.
You know, Hannah would probably say, do it, but she probably wouldn't do it if Hannah said do it. But instead, now that Hannah's dead, and the last thing she told Hannah right before she died was, I got to have this audition.
I got the audition. But that's the thing. There's so much insane shit that's happening around Jennifer Beals in this whole movie.
Yes.
That it's clear that Jennifer... No family, has a dog, is like... competent enough at being a welder that like, how did you get this job working in a steel mill?
Oh, and she's a union welder and gets off early to go dancing.
Right.
That's not something that's going to happen in a union gig.
No. And the other crazy thing to me is she has this whole.
And we're
she's
the bouncers at Mobbies.
Right. The Mobbies bouncers don't exist.
They don't exist because there'd be there'd be dudes trying some shit in that club, and it doesn't happen. It's magical Disney.
It's
a Disney strip club.
Everybody is very well because it's like the tiki room, but for titties. It's the enchanted titty room.
But there's no titties,
right? Because we're artsy.
Yeah.
Because this is how we show that Pittsburgh is an artsy city. Because they have a ballet, and then they have a cabaret, and then they have full nude 6 girls all at once.
Yeah.
But there's this whole vibe that I get, which. The movie's all about the way you feel. It's Flashdance, what a feeling.
Oh, yeah.
And Jennifer Beals is so clearly... I can't... There's a part of me that's like, Joe Esterhaas is smart enough to write the movie intentionally this way, where her character is constantly surrounded by insane bullshit, and she's the only one calling out how dumb it is. And every other person acting in this movie knows, like, oh god. There's some people who are young, like the figure skating girl and her friend Jeannie. And she's like in it, and she's giving a shit. But then you got guys like Michael Nouri who are like, God damn, why do I have to be this fucking leech, this guy? And like she's yelling, where she after she sees him with her ex-wife at the ballet,
His ex-wife, yeah.
and she runs and throws a rock through his window. Which, by the way, they
she
cut
bicycles to his place
Right.
late at night, so it's like 1 o'clock in the morning.
probably even later than that.
Yeah.
And the window shatters, clearly different windows. We've seen, because it's a fucking continuity error.
Yep.
And the next day, he's like, someone shattered a window, rock in my house. And she's like, that was me. After this whole thing where they're like trying to keep the relationship secret the whole time, clearly, because he's
and they're in front of all the construction workers,
right. And she's like, and he's like, and he, I don't even know why they have the lines in there of him being like, I had to pay $130 to get the window replaced. But then you get the moment of Jennifer Beals like, you're so stupid. You can afford that, you rich piece of shit. And then you have like everybody clapping, and I don't know whether they're clapping for her for telling him off or for him for fucking an 18-year-old.
Column A, column B.
Who knows?
I mean, these are 1980s construction workers who grew up under Nixon and who grew up under Nixon and soon to be Reagan. I mean, this is Reagan era. This is people are classist against. Oh, she wears boots. I'm not going to let her dance. She went to no school. She's self-taught. You know, she can't. Oh, sure. Some construction worker made a call today. We're going to see this construction worker dance. Come on, this is going to be like the William Hung in America's Got Talent is what, not America's Got Talent.
Oh my God.
American Idol. Everybody that showed up there were at the ballet were there to laugh at her.
Right.
They were there to laugh at her because some construction dude made a call and got this girl an audition. She's got no schooling. Let's watch her fail.
Right. How does he know all these people anyway? Is he gives a lot to charity?
He's a mobster. It's all mob money, man. Come on. That's how he was able to threaten the dude from the punk rock band without even lifting a finger, because he knows that he's going to get him killed. He probably owns his bar too.
Probably does.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the final sequence. Let's talk about the audition.
Oh,
the pinnacle of the movie. It does get you.
It gets you.
It gets you.
Yeah.
But I was watching it, and I remember it's so heightened. Right?
Yeah.
Like she comes in, nobody's saying a word to anybody, which first of all doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
Why is she not saying hi? Why is she not asking like, where do I put my music? Why is she not
She's
introducing
never
herself?
done an audition as a performer. She's like a performer that's done nothing but open mics for years.
Well, it's kind of like Richie is sort of. I have a theory, but I want to get through this sequence first. Now that this just occurred to me. So she shows up and she plays her song on the record player, and it's the song of the movie. It's Flashdance, What a Feeling.
Irene Carrera, yes.
And it's playing, and at first the whole time I was looking through the song. I was looking up the lyrics because I was like, I want to know in what context this song shows up in the movie. Because I saw Maniac and I was like, oh, okay,
yeah.
This is her dancing to. I get it. I get it. It's just a song to have like on in the background while she's dancing. But then they go. She's playing and she starts her dance and then she stumbles.
Yeah.
And everybody in the room freezes. And she's like, "Can I start again?" And she gets up and then stops the music. And then I'm like, "Wait a minute. Is this Flashdance, What a Feeling playing in the movie Flashdance right now?" This is happening right now. This is diegetic music. And then she plays the song again, and then it is. And I'm like, I'm totally blown away because I'm like, this song, they made a movie about a song that's in the movie that they wrote for the movie, but this song exists in the universe.
Yes.
None of this makes any sense. You can't look, but that's the thing is like,
you got to feel it. It's a feeling.
It's a feeling. You can't analyze this movie. That's the biggest, like, I applaud the filmmakers for making a movie that's so nonsensical that you have to watch it and just feel it.
Yeah. Like it says a lot about Bud Smith's editing, says a lot about Adrian Lynn, says a lot, because at one point Brian De Palma was given this movie.
Yeah. And David Cronenberg.
Yeah. That would have been a whole nother movie.
Right.
That would have been dark as fuck.
I would have loved to see those versions.
There's a 2.5-hour Adrian Lynn cut, apparently.
I mean, they just gave it to a guy who does gene ads.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It's like, you can't give a movie like this. I think if you gave a movie like this, okay, so if they remake it now, right?
Yeah.
There's only a select few filmmakers who could do this and pull it off.
And with the talent, too, also. You got to get that right talent. You got the right editing. It's like, it literally... Like, nobody believed in that film. It was a $4 million budget and it made over $100 million.
Yeah. But you gotta, it made $201.5 million on a $7 million budget.
Yeah.
Because the director was like, I'm going to make this like a music video and we're going to air it on MTV all the fucking time and people are going to come see it. And the craziest thing to me is they made the movie knowing how bad it was.
It's a Bruckheimer film for chicks.
And
it's a Michael Bay. Yeah, it's a Jerry Bruckheimer movie for women.
Roger Ebert put it on his most hated list.
Yeah.
Roger Ebert, oh my God, said Jennifer Beals shouldn't feel bad. She's a natural talent. She's fresh and engaging here, but she needs to find an agent with natural talent for turning down scripts. Flashdance has great sound, but it signifies nothing. But that's the problem is Roger Ebert looked at this movie like he looks at every other movie. Mm-hmm. Roger Ebert looked at this movie looking for answers.
There are no answers.
There are no answers in
Flashdance. None. There's just more questions.
There's just more questions, but there's a whole lot of feeling.
Yeah. Oh, a lot.
Oh, what a feeling.
It's believing.
Who do you get to direct this movie? I have my vote if we're going with somebody from the music video world.
Okay. Baz Luhrmann?
No. Baz Luhrmann would be really good. Baz Luhrmann, I think, would probably do this film close to justice.
Yeah.
But if you want to get sort of the weird artiness of the movie, and I think do it right in a way that Baz Luhrmann doesn't,
okay,
you get Michel Gondry.
Ooh.
Imagine a weirdo Michel Gondry version of this. Imagine some of those fucking wild dance sequences at the cabaret bar at Mobby's.
I think it would make a better Netflix series because then you can actually decompress and explain that shit. Because just the fact that place exists in that universe just makes zero sense.
I'd love it.
In America in 1982. It just makes no sense in 1982 Pittsburgh of all places.
Yeah.
And the thing was, I thought it took place in Houston because Pittsburgh and Houston in the 1980s kind of looked the same at the time.
Right.
So like, oh wow, this is like I thought it was real. Like I could afford, it's fantasy and reality. You watch movies in the 80s and you believe that you'll grow up to be an artist and automatically have a warehouse apartment by yourself with your pit bull.
Right.
That it's also the belief that I also feel that it's the fairy tale is what it is. The fairy tale versus the reality.
Big fairy tale.
And I understand how it has empowered a whole new generation of welders to dance.
So I got to ask you. You know this movie's bad. You picked it to hate.
Yeah, but
do you actually hate it?
To love is also to hate. It's like roast battle. You only roast the ones you love.
I gotcha.
Yeah, I'm more nitpicky is what it is. And quite honestly, Coyote Ugly is a much more realistic movie if you look at it. Because that was actually written by the woman that wrote Eat, Pray, Love.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, she actually, based off the GQ article, I think the women of Coyote Ugly. Oh she actually spent time and actually told her own story, and she sold it, and that became Coyote Ugly.
Well, that's the thing about Flashdance is that the only thing keeping Flashdance together is
the music videos.
It's the fact that it's a giant music video.
It's a giant training montage.
It's Rocky for chicks.
Yeah.
And Jennifer Beals is great, and literally every other character is dog shit awful. Mm-hmm. If this movie was told from the flip side, if this movie was told from Richie the comic point of view, instead of Jennifer Beals' point of view, it would be completely unwatchable.
Yeah, be completely depressing as fuck.
Right.
Going back to L.A. with your Polak jokes.
Go to LA with your Polak jokes. Imagine him showing up in like a crossover of I'm Dying Up Here and performing for Mitzi, and Mitzi just saying, "You have no career.
You need to wear a hat.
He's already wearing a hat.
You need to wear a scarf. You're a poet."
He's fucking up so bad with his Polak jokes.
Yes.
And clearly also doesn't get that the one time when he actually breaks down and is like, this is the funny part, is when I'm mad at everybody and not doing Polak jokes.
Yep.
It's just like, it's so sad.
Oh, yeah.
And it makes me so mad to watch.
And his girlfriend leaves him for the titty bar owner.
Yeah.
And then, and she has her big chance doing the ice skating thing, and she fucks that up.
But that's the thing. It's like I watch that and I get the feeling. What a feeling.
You can have it all.
You can't. You can't.
That's in the lyrics. You can have it all.
But this movie is proof that you can't have it all.
No, you can't.
If this movie, I would imagine if this movie were made in modern times with a competent director and better casting.
Oh yeah,
you could have it all. But this movie was shame on Brian De Palma and David Cronenberg for turning this movie down.
Could have been something else.
This movie could have been something else, or it could have just been a better version of what it is. Because as bad as it is,
yeah,
I still liked it. I still think it's good. There's a part of me that's still like, it
brings you in.
Movie.
But the thing is that one shot. What happens after, the audition? You don't know if she gets it or not. You just assume she gets it. Does she continue? Does she not continue? It's that one shot mentality, that narrative that's being told over and over again, that it's that one shot's going to make you, and really it doesn't.
Right.
I feel like I think I have more of an issue with the message, and I also I spent some time, thinking about this, looking at the research, and I read the BuzzFeed article about the real girls it's based off of.
Ooh, tell me.
And apparently the real Mobbies was actually an artsy place in Toronto.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, Toronto's an Pittsburgh's an artsy city too, I guess. They got Carnegie Mellon over there.
Yeah, but I don't see steel workers watching artsy shit all the time. I've hung out with the construction workers and union people. You don't see that sort of shit.
Right.
And I mean, it's like, I don't see dudes playing pool while that artsy shit is going on at the same time.
No,
it's like I can see it happening like in 2007 Dallas, 2015 Texas, 2009, like currently Pittsburgh today, LA, like
95 Austin
or Silver Lake right now. I can see that shit going on in Silver Lake, but there'd be more people involved. And
right.
I even looked at Esterhouse's original draft, and apparently different names, and it was more of an ensemble piece. There's another movie that's and apparently the girl that did the dancing. There's like two different women.
Oh yeah, because they used a body double for almost the entirety of Jennifer Beals' dancing.
No, two different women that are Alex is based off of.
Really?
One of them was actually a construction worker by day.
Okay.
And apparently she had some sort of weird skin condition, and that's why she danced. And the other one was just this mad woman who was at one point offered by Joe Esterhaus if she'd like to take dancing lessons with Bob Fosse.
Wow.
And she's like, no, that's structure. I don't want structure. She's all about the art, and her life is much sadder. It's almost like the difference between $3,000, the original Pretty Woman script, versus the real Pretty Woman.
Right.
And there are parts that Headley, when the original scriptwriter, denies, because he apparently saw her pictures and saw her dance in Toronto.
Right.
And that's how he came up and just mixed up the two dancers and came up with the idea that the story that Flashdance was based off of. And then Esterhaus spent time with the dancers and actually started... Like, I feel that one scene about that one dancer is talking about all her old clothes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I feel that part, Esterhaus is taken from reality, talking with the dancers. And I also feel that some of the Hannah scenes seem to be real, too.
Yeah.
There's like moments of realism. There are moments of realism in this fairy tale that make it even better than what it is. But at the same time, you look at it and you understand how reality works outside. Like, it's like being around somebody that's a really good bullshitter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
It's there's such a bullshitter that you believe the gaslighting, and then once you leave them and you're away from the influence, you're away from Jennifer Beals and the music video editing. It's like, what the fuck did I see? What the fuck?
But that's exactly how I remember starting to watch it and being like, what the fuck is this? And then I just sat there fixated.
Yeah.
For an hour and a half.
Yeah.
The only time I stopped, there was literally a moment where I was like, I should do push-ups right now.
Yeah.
And I did 20 push-ups in the middle of the movie because I was like, I feel inspired.
Yeah.
And then I got done and I was just like, what was that?
Yeah. Did
that really happen?
Yes, it did.
It feels like, but it's a fairy tale.
It's a fairy tale. It makes you. It's like Punchline almost. It's.
I've never seen Punchline, but I got to watch that now.
Oh,
because that's a fairy tale.
That's definitely a fairy tale. There's
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's a fairy tale.
Of course, it's a fairy tale. It changed history, revisionist history.
So much that doesn't make sense in that movie.
No, it doesn't.
But you watch it and you don't care,
right?
Because all of the trappings of it make you feel swept away.
Mm-hmm. But once you leave into reality, the images stick with you, the music sticks with you, and it's a phenomenon because I remember seeing as a kid the music videos everywhere. You know, looking back, I saw that movie hundreds of times just by the music videos alone because, you know,
because they were playing them all the time,
and that's the movie.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah. What a feeling. Al. Sincerely, thank you for making me watch Flashdance. It's one of the strangest movies that I've ever seen.
Yeah,
and enjoyed, and I didn't expect to enjoy it.
Yeah,
but that's the other thing. It's like there's a part of me that doesn't.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a part of me that watched it and I was like, "What is this?"
There's an aftertaste. There's like a weird aftertaste to the movie, but it works. Mm-hmm. It's that right director, right cast, right everything. It just.
You can't replicate it.
It hits on all cylinders and literally lightning in a bottle. And
maybe that's why they haven't done a remake because you can't remake it.
You cannot. And Coyote Ugly tried, but
right.
And that's more believable. At least I believe her being a songwriter.
Well, maybe I'll watch Coyote Ugly next. Either Coyote Ugly or Punchline. One of the two.
Ooh.
What do you think I should go with? I feel like Punchline seems the more obvious one.
Punchline.
Okay.
Punchline with Tom Hanks, Sally Fields, Damon Wayans, Taylor Negron.
I'm gonna watch Punchline then.
Oh yeah, and it's Punchline's. Punchline. It kind of jump started a bunch of people in the comedy. I tell you.
Okay.
It's David Tell.
I know Barry Sobel was a consultant on that movie.
Yeah.
Barry Sobel. Oh, Al, thank you so much for coming on. This was a wonderful episode. Where can the listeners find your other work and your social media and stuff?
At Al Bahmani, ALBAHMANI. My blog, albegood.com, and I help out with at Fantasy House Podcast. Help John Shefsky with Fantasy House Podcast. Mm-hmm. I also help out with the Comedy Store Tonight. I help Argus Hamilton punch up jokes every Tuesday with the opening monologue, mm-hmm. and I also help the social media with the old Crime Pod, doing artwork and stuff like that. I'm everywhere and nowhere.
You're everywhere, man.
Yeah.
I can be found at Diet J on Twitter and Instagram. jlightcomedy.com for show dates. If you like podcasts, tell a friend, subscribe. And follow me on Letterboxd too. I'm Diet J on Letterboxd also. I gotta start plugging it. Yeah, join the Facebook group if you like the show. I'm really trying hard to post more there. It's tricky, but I'm figuring it out. And watch Flashdance. Watch it.
Decide for yourself.
Truly,
what a
decide
feeling.
for yourself if it's what a feeling. What is your feeling? Tell us. Al, thanks again, dude.
Thank you.
This has been Blockbusting. Go see something good for a change.
All right.